What's up, guys? It's Strategist again. This video once again made possible by Power Director, hashtag not sponsored, but if it wasn't for this video editing app, I wouldn't have been able to get this shit done. A lot of you in the comments have asked what my teams and my Barracks roster looks like. So I'm going to do like a brief overview of all my teams and just kind of touch nearly each one of these 5 stars so you can see the build that they all like currently have on them. A lot of them have been merged, but these 3 right here are my primary ones. They're merged plus 10. And Rayson is just here because he's a bonus unit. He actually belongs in my Radiant Dawn theme team. Ike is just there because he's legendary and the free buffs. I have my Grail Mercenary theme team. And again, I'm just going to be touching on all of these teams very quickly, because otherwise I'd end up being here all day. If you want to hear me talk about a team more in depth, leave me a comment or join the Discord and ask me about it. I can even explain the strategies behind each team and character to you in the Discord, which could be easy and more detailed and personal also. Like, for example, how this team works together with Hinoka, Lucina, and Camilla here, all having a lot of spur buffs. So that way it'll increase Crom's overall attack power, like, significantly. Sig-fucking-nificantly. This one I have Sanaki. It's based pretty much around her having a flying unit, and I kind of made a tactic team around it so that way I could get those solid +6 buffs. Takumi has a fire sweep bow, so that way he can defense and res tactic, since he won't need those stats. And Robin is here mostly because he's an armor and he can make use of Myr's guidance. This one's based around the Blizzard Tome, obviously. I'm not too worried about Gunthra's bulk stats, mostly because I have a lot of characters that have a ridiculous amount of res on this team, and her legendary ability also giving everyone on the team res buffs. And I tell you what, this team can get ridiculously powerful. This one is kind of interesting. I like it a lot. Especially because of the team name and the fact that all the characters have relatively different colors of hair, so they are kind of like Charlie's Angels. This team kind of centers around Cordelia and Kana being the buffers and the main tank. So they kind of work together in a very interesting way, and I'm not sure how to detail it more than that without really diving into it. But Tharja's new tome is ridiculously powerful. Like, holy shit, goddamn. Not too shabby. Basically, Cordelia actually uses the Blessed Bow, not the Brave Bow, but she does have the Brave Bow, in order to give the team +5 to defense and res. And then I have the other characters make up those other buffs so I can use Tharja. This one utilizes the combo between Soth and Erica, so that way Erica can basically get +8 to all of her stats, and eventually I'm going to level up that defense wave right there so she can get even more defense out of that. Raven is here because he's stupid, fast, and strong, and Fjorm gives that speed boost. This one, I could probably use an update to. I haven't really touched it in a while. But Owain and Tail 2 are kind of the stars of this team, especially with Tail 2's Tome of Thoron, which is pretty interesting. Obviously, she used to have the Blair Blade, which is why Azura is on this team, and Kaze is my res tank. He kind of does both the player and enemy phase. Overall, it's a pretty solid team. This one actually does need a lot of explanation, but I'll hit the key points, which is Kagero having armored boots and Celica having double lines, so both of them need some solid healing, which is where Elise comes in. And since I already have an armor on the team, I put Elise on it so I could get tactic buffs. And I know it's weird to see infantry pulse here, but it's specifically here for Celica and her Gale Force, so that way I can knock it down to 4. Because a lot of the time, despite having an attack bane, she will activate her Gale Force in the first round of combat, killing her opponent without taking a counter in return, so I need her to activate that Gale Force. Okay, now on to this one. I've got Bridal Tharja with basically her base kit, which isn't too bad. It's got some premium skills, so I didn't really want to get rid of it. I've got Ike with Attack Tactic, strangely enough. Even though he would normally like to have the attack boost, the other characters on the team would like it more. They're more player phase than Ike is, and Ike can basically demolish things with his steady breath and his Aether. So the other teammates need some backing up in the form of attack boost, and that's where that comes from. Close guard. That's kind of where I base this team off of, especially with Julia here. She already had close counter from a very long time ago. So I decided on giving her her mother's tome instead of giving her her own tome, which comes with close counter. Here we have an enemy phase Celica, and she works very well as an enemy phase unit, especially with her chill speed and her beloved Zofia, because it's more consistent if you bait the enemy to you rather than attacking them. I've got Veronica here to heal Celica so she can get more use out of that beloved Zofia if need be. And she can also heal all these other characters as well. And the double chill makes this team actually kind of scary when you crunch all the numbers together. It's a new team that I put together, and I kind of like it a lot, especially with the theme, because they're all relatively bad. Here's my basic flyer and my basic armor team. There isn't much really to dive into, just because, you know, armor buffs, blah, blah, blah. You know, flyer buffs, blah, blah, blah. I also have a cavalry team. This one's another theme team. It's probably my weakest team. I just basically took all of my evil characters, which also just so happened to be armored, and I threw them onto the team. I don't have, like, any, you know, armored march for them or anything. So I just kind of... They exist. I like the theme team, so I gave them hearts, and I bonded them together, and that's pretty much the long and the short of it. I'll just show you which units I currently have for my cavalry team. Elise just took over for Brave Roy. Brave Roy, he was good when he first came out, but he's been ridiculously power crept ever since then because we had a massive influx of sword calves, and those motherfuckers are a dime a dozen these days. No offense to Brave Roy, but he just doesn't compete anymore. Let's see. What else do I have? Yep, here's my new team that I just put together with some of the characters I just summoned, which I somehow luckily got both Nina and Levitane on the Link skills banner, which they really do go hand in hand. If you use one of them to swap with the other or whatever, and you get +6 Spectrum. Oh, man. That is a match made in heaven. So this is the team that I have going on for them right now. I've got my enemy phase physical tank in Silas here. And then I've got Grown Blade, Rajat, and obviously the two I just talked about. They work together pretty well, and I enjoyed using them. So here's some of my more notable merged units. I'm just going to highlight a couple of them. Titania almost made it to max, and I've been working on Oscar. He's merged +1. He's got brazen attack and speed, by the way, because with all those spur buffs, he can get up to, like, +14 and whatever. Okay, so let's see. I've pretty much gone through all the favorited characters, which all the favorited characters are on a team. So here's the ones that aren't favorited. This way I can organize them a little bit better. You can see a lot of them have their basic builds. Some of them have investment in them. So if you have any questions about them, just like, if you need to look at them longer, just pause the video. If you got questions about them, you can ask me in the Discord. Feel free to @ me, even though people will say don't do that. I only get mad if I'm added for a very bad reason or no reason, just to ping me or whatever. But otherwise, I don't really care. Here is my Laszlo. Long time ago, I was trying to whale for an Ike. Since he was already +5, I was trying to get him, and he just wouldn't show up. I got a shitload of Laszlo, so I was like, fuck it. I'll make a 4-star +10. That's where he came from. Like I said, if you have any questions, Discord, feel free to chat with me. The thing that I like most about doing videos is the community interaction and stuff like that. I love sharing my ideas and strategies and whatnot. Before this video ends, I'll let you know that I have done a lot more summoning. I don't know if I'm going to make videos out of them, but I have actually been playing the game. I never actually quit. Some people thought I quit in the last video. I haven't. All I've been doing is like auto-battling and collecting my login rewards. That's about it. I'm not sure if I'll ever actually quit, but we'll just see. All right? See you in the Discord.